Therefore, when Christ came into the world, he said, sacrifice and offerings you did not desire, but a body you prepared for me. With burnt offerings and sin offerings you were not pleased. Then I said, here I am. It is written about me in the scroll. I have come to do your will, my God. Okay, guys, so I'm concluding now. Now, I'm deciding to use Jesus here because this guy, guys, was too wise. You look at what happened in the beginning, as I've explained in the first part, that it was not daddy's fault that our bodies are like this. No. It's Adam and Eve alone. It's not our fault as well. So you can't shout at your child because their bodies are changing. You understand? It's not their fault. You understand? You can't shout at me. But what you can do is tell me information and give me God's command and explain if you are able to. You understand? Explain, because it's not my fault. I'm now feeling things that I didn't feel before, but now I'm feeling them. You understand? So you can help me by explaining these things. You understand? So I use Jesus here because it says, sacrifice and offerings you did not desire, but a body you prepared for me. With burnt offerings and sin offerings you were not pleased. Then I said, here I am. It is written about me in the scroll. I have come to do your will, my God. As I always said, guys, that the Old Testament was Jesus' pre-written diary, because all the prophets quoted him around. You understand? Because the Old Testament was about Jesus. You understand? So he came now to do that which was written about him in the scroll. You understand? So he comes down here. As I said, he already existed. I love John's confirmation. He says that he existed before I was born, meaning that Jesus existed somewhere else. You understand? That's why we always trace him, right at the beginning. In the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was with God. You understand? So Jesus was right there in the beginning. So Jesus was living in heaven already. So a body, guys, had to be prepared for him here on earth. So a virgin, daddy had to use a virgin to put Jesus. In fact, I don't think that we human beings giving birth is a miracle. Others call it a miracle. You can say it is. I don't think it is, because I call it a natural progression of things, because that's how things were made. But what is a miracle about Jesus is the fact that grandpa, an old man like that, 4,000 years old, because you see, guys, Jesus came here on earth after 4,000 years of creation, because if you read the word, you'll find that Jesus came after 4,000 years of creation and he left 2,000 and some change years ago. You understand? So that guy is way too old. He's 1,000 years old. Yes, I know that the scientists will tell you that the world has been around for 16 million years. And the word is saying that Jesus came after 4,000 years. So you can see that the difference is too great. Well, I will take my Lord's report because I trust him. You understand? Where scientists took their report, they know I'm not interested in that. All I know is that Jesus' report is trustworthy, because you see, with this guy, what he reveals to Moses about his kingdom is what he will reveal to Daniel, is what he will reveal to Isaiah, is what Jesus will come here and also speak about, or witness about, is what he will reveal to Paul, is what he will reveal to John, is what he will reveal to James, is also what he will reveal to you or me if he chooses to in this day and age, because he still does reveal things. You understand? So I take his report because his report is constant. With scientists, their report is not constant. It actually changes based on their findings. You understand? So I can't trust something that is not constant, something that changes based on findings. No, I cannot do that. Whereas with Daddy, his whatever he reveals is still the same. You know what I mean? So his report is constant. Now, I'm not speaking about it. What I'm speaking about is the fact that, guys, Jesus comes down here, and it's a miracle because someone who is a grandpa like that, 4,000 something years, is coming here and is put in the body as if he is a baby. That is a miracle. But you giving birth, having sex and giving birth, it's not a miracle. It's a progression of things. You can call it a miracle, it's okay, but it's not. It's a progression of things, But what Jesus, what Daddy did with Jesus, that is a miracle. to take an old grandpa and put him in a womb and come here as a baby. And there was no other way of coming here on earth, because Jesus in the Gospel of John 10, he says that he is a good shepherd because he came here on earth legally, unlike Satan, who entered the world illegally. You know, guys, Satan, he did not enter the world legally. He decided to indwell in people's bodies and possess people. He just comes here illegally. He came here illegally. But Jesus did not. Jesus came here the legal way, because the only way to be born here on earth is through birth. So Jesus came through that way, through birth. You understand? So Jesus came here on earth legally. You understand? So Daddy put him in the body, and he's here. You understand? And guys, I want you to look at this. Jesus is put in the flesh that is wrong as well. Mind you, Mary also came from Adam, who died spiritually, meaning Mary was spiritually dead. So her flesh was also dead as well. You understand? But Jesus is put in that body. You understand? Is put in that womb. You understand? So Jesus partakes of our flesh. So that means that every temptation we come across, Jesus came across. That's why it says that he fought against sin to the point of shedding blood. You understand? And it says that he is a good high priest because he's able to sympathize with us, because every temptation I come across, he came across. You understand? Now, if Mary has this dead body like mine, like yours, and Jesus is put in that flesh, it means that Jesus is put in a flesh that loves money. Jesus is put in a flesh that loves the things of the world. Jesus is put in a flesh that wants to gossip. Jesus is put in the flesh that wants to cheat. Jesus is put in the flesh that also wants sex outside marriage, because at age 13, his flesh also wanted that. You understand? It's just his blood that was pure, because Mary did not have sex with Joseph. She couldn't have given birth to Jesus, because Jesus was already existing in heaven. You understand? So, but Jesus's body was like mine, like, and yours as well. So he is actually able to sympathize with my weaknesses because he had the same temptation. He faced the same temptation, you understand? But he never sinned, you understand? So that's the good part about Jesus. What I want to speak about is the fact that Jesus, guys, also had the type of flesh that wanted sex outside marriage. But this guy was able to fight. Guys. And you wonder why I love my Lord like this. You know, he was able to fight. You understand? He was able to fight every sort of temptation. The love of money, you can't. You understand? I can't. The love of the things of the world, we even call the things of the world blessings. Yet we are told to not love the world or the things of the world. We run after fleshy cars, upmarket this, we run after the things of the world. We want to be bougie. Why? We're loving the world and the things of the world. And even worse, people who go to church are loving the same things, because pastors are preaching that the things of the world are blessings. You understand? And because of that, we are busy sinning. You know what I mean? So Jesus was also put in the kind of flesh that gave him problems. But Jesus fought against sin to the point of death. Guys, you understand this? So I'm trying to make you understand that do not feel bad that your body is giving you problems. It's not your fault. You just need to cooperate. Jesus had so much information, so much knowledge to fight against the flesh. Paul was the one who wasn't married, and he actually commends, a person who remains single, because you will be able to devote yourself to daddy. You understand? Because if you marry now, your interest will be divided. You understand? Now, Paul was able to fight against his flesh because of the knowledge that he had. So if you also want to be like Jesus, you need to get the knowledge that he has. You understand? That's why I really, really am mad of what churches have done. Because see, guys, churches were meant to give us the undiluted word of God, but they decided to please the people of the world and change the word, thus giving us now the wrong teachings that are not in line with the word of God. And it doesn't help us anymore. When we die physically, we can't make it to Jesus' kingdom because they are busy giving us the wrong teachings. You understand? But if you want to remain single, It's okay. You can remain single. Just get the right knowledge. And where will you get right knowledge? From the word, not from any church, not from any church belief, from the word. The word, guys, stick to the word. You understand? The question now is it daddy's fault that our brains are left behind and still developing when our bodies are matured and ready for sex? It's not his fault, guys. It's not his fault. If you go to the first part, I explained that it's what Adam had done right there in the beginning, guys. It's what Adam had done right there in the beginning. And what Adam did there, guys, he destroyed all of us. Destroyed all of us. We are destroyed to the T. The problem was too much that no human beings could solve it. Only Daddy and Jesus. That's why Daddy brought Jesus. But Daddy did not only bring Jesus with the blood, because the blood helps us to have our spirit recreated again, meaning we get rid of that spiritual sin. But Jesus also gave us teachings so that we can deal with our flesh, because nothing happens to our flesh. Even with baptism, nothing happens to our flesh. It still remains like that. That's why even when you get saved, your body will still want to, to have sex outside marriage. You find pastors doing that, having sex outside marriage. Why? It's the bodies. And I don't even think that pastors are still spiritually alive. They are busy preaching their own things instead of the word. So if they preach their own things, obviously they can't remain spiritually alive. Jesus cannot tolerate that. Jesus and sin, guys, it's water and diesel. Jesus cannot tolerate sin. You understand? So it's things like that. You need to understand that your body is going to give you problems, and it's not Daddy's fault. It's not your fault either. It's Adam's and Eve's fault alone. But we cannot continue blaming them, because Jesus gave us the blood to deal with our spirit. Secondly, he gave us the commands. He gave us his teachings. You understand? If you want to remain with church's teachings, that is your prerogative. But Jesus gave us his teachings. If churches were preaching the word of God as it is, undiluted as it is, and sticking to the word, that would have been okay. I wouldn't have problems with churches. But the problem I have, Jesus said, if you take their teachings, I will not forgive you as well. You're not going to enter my kingdom. Because Jesus is not forgiving people who go to church anymore. Because after hearing the word, after getting the word, because they read the word, but they change it. So after hearing the word, they continued in sin, did not take Jesus' teachings. They continued in sin. And by doing so, Jesus can't forgive them anymore, because they are doing it on purpose. You understand? So you can fight this. You can't fight its nature, meaning that your body will still crave sex. You understand? It's not Daddy's fault. It's not Jesus' fault. It's not your fault either. But you can't blame Adam and Eve anymore, because Jesus gave us the blood and teachings to fight. You understand? If sex is defeating you, marry. Get married soon. You understand? It's just that you will come across other problems as well. Maybe you'll even want to divorce. It's a pity, guys. It's hard. It's hard. Nobody said it was going to be easy. But if you're going to continue having sex outside marriage, you're not going to make it to Justice Kingdom. You're not going to. You understand? So it's things like that you need to understand. If you want to make it somewhere else after you leave Earth, it's okay. You can take other people's beliefs. But if you want to make it to where Jesus is, that is where I want to go. I want to go to Jesus' kingdom. So that's why I stick with the word. So if you want to make it there as well, you need to take Jesus' teachings, you understand, and try to cooperate and work with him. You understand? You can do it. You can understand. You can fight it, So I wanted you to understand that Jesus was also having the same problems, facing the same temptations. You understand? He fought them. You understand? So you can fight it too, because your spirit is alive like his. Yes, he's a God. You are not. I am not. But your spirit is alive as his. If you have taken his blood, the teachings are here. He made sure that they are here. Paul, Peter, James, you understand? They gave us, John, they gave us the same teachings as Jesus is in the Gospels. You understand? So you stick with them. You can fight. You understand? And cooperate, guys. You can. That's all I'm willing to say, So now you understand about sex. You understand about divorce. You understand all of that, and you connect it. And you connect it with the word. Until next, guys.